Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
Lift off and the clock has started.
That's right. Yeah. Sometimes I have to remember to hit the record button because I look forward to our convos, but I forget that we record them at times. Guys, the council has assembled once again. UFR number 21.
Oh yeah.
And we have our man, our man, he ain't Friday. He's Jasper St. Germain. How's it going, my friend?
It's going well. Glad to be back.
Hell yeah. It's good to have you back, man. It's like, goddamn, dude. Like, it feels like equally just the other day and also like way too long ago that we had you on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It was like 4 months or something.
Jesus.
Holy shit.
October, something like that.
No, it was like the first week in November, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez,
3 months.
that's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. What have you been doing in the meantime, man?
More of the same. For the most part, playing music, jamming around, working. We got to move. The people who bought my parents' place, they're like ready to use the house we're living in. So we're moving in a month or so. So we're gonna live with Emma and Erica for a minute while we get a home loan and buy a house.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, dude, I mean, something to look forward to though.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. Well, I hope the move is as smooth as possible, man. That shit always is like, I hate moving. Like, it's the bane of my existence, I feel like.
Yeah. I've moved so many times. Like when we were on the west side, we moved like 5 times, I think in 7 months or something.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, there's, I think for like, I want to say like 3 years, we had to move every single year. And it was just because like, like the landlord would decide to like sell the house or something, like not like nothing like malicious inherently, but you're just like, God damn, another move. All right, let's fucking go. Like,
yeah.
God. So, I'm looking forward to the day that I can settle in.
Yeah. It's a catalyst to us getting our own place. So
exactly.
The money's there. It's just got to go through the process of, buying a house.
Yeah.
Finding one, buying.
Yeah, man.
So hopefully soon I'll have Diarrhea Studios open
on
my own room, have all my gear set up. And I'll actually buy a microphone instead of just quit using the iPad mic.
Ah, shit. Hey, man, Diarrhea Studios sounds like a place to fucking be. You said you've been jamming, man. Have you been like creating anything, recording anything, or you just you jamming with like friends? What's the status there?
A little bit of both. I recorded a song and put it up maybe like a few weeks ago. It's called Imladris IBS. Named after the Valley of Imladris.
Shout outs. Where can people find it, man?
On SoundCloud. Diarrhea warning on SoundCloud.
Stomach cramps and hot brown rain.
You got it. Put up a bunch of new music since our last podcasts. There's like 15 songs or so on there now. So,
dude, it is impressive, man.
I did all that in like basically 6 weeks. I just was doing like 2 songs every week, every 6 days, something like that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
and then
fucking over.
So I have a couple in the can, got a couple I'm sitting on, just gotta like program some drums and record. Like
somehow those are all related to shit, the things you say. I got a couple in the can, I'm sitting on a couple.
Yeah, I can't help it. It's just seeping out of me. We went to Las Vegas like for our 2nd anniversary. We went with Emma and Erica, and it was really fun. But the last morning, we were like getting ready to go, and I was having some drinks because I don't like to fly. So I was like loosening up. We had some pizza from the night before, and apparently it didn't really get cold enough in the fridge. I like half a slice of it. I straight up got food poisoning and threw
on
up
the flight.
Oh yeah, all over me in the seat. It got in this lady's hair. Oh, it was
what?
And then I threw up, like,
My
again.
fucking nightmare.
And then like on the flight to an Ashley like twice. And then like, oh, just like at the on the street next to 7-Eleven, we were driving home. I just opened the door and like, let loose.
No, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. That's oh, dude, that's fucking that is Jameson said it. That's my nightmare, man. Like that's fucking crazy.
How early in the flight did this happen?
An hour in, right at drink service, I was like,
no.
like, I'm not feeling good. I'm just like, maybe I'm motion sick, and like I'll just take a little drink. That usually helps. And I took like one little sip of gin, and my stomach just turned upside down. And I like got the guy next to me. I'm like, I have to get up. I have to go to the bathroom. But then like the drink cart was to the right of me, so there's just no helping it. So I went for the bag, but I got in my mask and like everywhere.
Oh god.
It was a nightmare moment for sure. It was, but nobody gave a shit. That was the weird thing. There was no.
Yeah, everyone was just like,
Nobody
okay.
cared.
Things happen on an
It
airplane.
was all
While you're leaving Las
Unspeakable
Vegas, you're throwing up.
things.
Yep.
Damn, dude.
So yeah, I was sick for a few days after that.
Yeesh.
Well,
Was that on the way there or on the way back?
On the way back,
Oh, okay.
I was careful to like, pace myself, not overdrink, not throw up and get sick in Las Vegas.
Right.
Pizza that got me on the way out.
if it's a
Somewhere over
damn
California,
pizza on the way. Yeah, you almost got away.
I feel bad laughing at your misfortune, but that is still just hilarious.
Oh god
yeah.
damn, dude.
Yeah, I know. It couldn't be a better. It's a great story.
You should write like a song inspired by Drunk on a Plane, but just puke on a plane. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Puke on a plane. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking
There.
gnarly. But you know what else is gnarly? This playlist you put together, dude. It's
Yeah.
it's a doozy, man. So you mentioned that this was like influenced, or it's all music that has influenced like music you make.
Yeah. So a lot of them are like influences, kind of bands and songs that have influenced stuff that I made, and then things that I'm just enjoying lately and things that tie the playlist together.
Hell yeah.
I also really tried to make it like flow as one cohesive playlist and have good transitions and
Nice.
bass.
I figured as much, man, because like I was like, this thing does not just like flow so well by itself. Like it couldn't just be such a mismatch. It like I felt like there was some preordained things happening there.
Yeah, there's a deliberate breakup there in the middle as well.
Dude, oh man. Well, I say we gotta dive into this soundtrack to the dumpster.
Yeah. Oh, did you guys get the picture for it? Did it like?
Was it the dog?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
is that your dog? There's two dogs.
Yep. That is our dogs
Nice.
out on the porch.
Oh, beautiful
Yep.
bubs.
Doggies.
It's Otto and Talia.
As everybody who listens to this podcast knows, very dog friendly podcast. How old are your dogs?
Otto is, I think he's 7. He's gonna be 7. Dahlia is gonna be 6. So border collie, he's 7, and the German Shepherd is 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
Otto is named after a Mitch Hedberg joke, and Dahlia is named after the Black Dahlia murder.
The band, the movie.
Yeah. And, yep.
Damn.
Wait, named after the band, not the person that the
not
band
the
is.
not the actual crime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, her middle name is Anne because we were hiding her from our rental agency. So just like Anne Frank.
God.
Dahlia Anne Frank.
It's a beautiful
Thanks,
name.
Germain.
Oh man. Well,
So first song on here.
yes, jumping in. Ode
Anyway.
to the Mets, man. I was glad to see the Strokes song on here.
Yeah,
Where'd you
love
pull
the
it?
Strokes. I love the Strokes. This song has been kind of like an earworm for me lately. It's been really stuck in my head, especially like there at the end, like around like 4 minutes, just after 4 minutes, there's like a vocal melody that comes in. And I think it sounds like, it reminds me of like the lead guitar line from Comfortably Numb in a way. Like, so it's just been, I don't know, stuck in my head. I like it. And that sort of like, that line influences me quite a bit too, and like the music I like to make. So I've always loved the Strokes. Last band I got to see live.
Dude, I would I would like to have caught the Strokes by now, but I'm a damn fool for I've missed them every time they've come near. But this song, dude, yeah, you're right, man. Like, it gets like trapped in your head. Like, I was listening through yesterday morning, and like, it was like something I kept like. I was like, I like the vibe, so I kept like playing that one. I played like 3 times in a row. I think it was fucking weird. Like, I was like, and I know I don't often do that with songs, like, but it was just like a particular, like, I don't know. I just like, I was like in that song, man. I like it a lot. It has these weird elements where, you know, like at times, like right near the beginning, he kicks on, he's like, give me some like drums or whatever it is, and like, the drummer like starts like playing, and like, you know, it's kind of cool how it pieces itself together, you know, along the way and stuff.
Yeah, I think like drums please, Fabs.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
Jules is cool as fuck.
I was like, that was such a fucking good. I like that was included, but yeah, definitely always a Stroke song is always welcome if you ask me. But the true question is, will it pass the council's test? Jameson, how do you feel about this Stroke song?
So just to start things out, in my own head, I've decided to rename this playlist The Reverse Lucas, because only corn dogs will understand this. But Lucas's original playlist was one of my favorites, and his second one was Hot Garbage. And Jasper, no disrespect, I was not digging your first playlist, but this one is a fucking banger. I loved so much shit on this. It was fantastic. So this song in particular, so of course I know of the Strokes. Really only dived into their hits, you know, just a really base level. But this song is a fucking banger. I loved it. It's such a good vibe to it. It has such a good flow throughout the entire thing. And I was really interested to see, like, the first couple times I listened to it just on like my Bluetooth speaker I have. And then when I was taking my notes on your playlist, I had my headphones in, and it was like a whole nother experience hearing it on headphones versus on a speaker because of how they mix it. So it's just a fucking solid pick, man. I'm gonna have to dive into the Strokes like back catalog a little bit more to find more of this stuff.
Yeah, their newest album is a lot more electronic versus like their garage older stuff. Like, this one's good, and even like the Voids, like Julian's other band, is pretty good.
The Voids? The
Void. Yeah, Julian has like another band. They're sort of like a electro punk sort of thing.
Wait, you had the Voids on your last playlist, didn't you?
I don't think so.
Or was that on? You may have submitted them as to one of our collaborative playlists either, but you've definitely presented the Voids to us before.
Oh, I think the Halloween Cool as a Ghoul.
Aha.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
I have a steel trap for holiday playlists.
Let's get somebody does, man.
On there.
Hell yeah. Dusty, what about you, man? How did you feel about it? About the Stroke song?
Like this quite a bit. The one thing at the start of the song, it's like there's the one beat, and then that like riff comes in, and I thought I was hearing something like maybe another song started. It's kind of like the first few seconds kind of throws you off.
Yeah, it does. Because
It's just like,
yeah,
it's like a beat, and then something else changes, and it's like completely different. It's just like, what?
I think it's the last song on the album, and the whole thing flows.
Flows together. Okay, that makes sense.
Coming out of the last song.
Yeah, but no, I like it. I like the Strokes quite a bit. Is this like a newer album of theirs?
Yeah, I think it was like 2020 March or
yeah.
like that. 2020.
Yeah, no, it's a good. It makes sense that it's probably the last song on the album. It's kind of like feels like it's like a culmination. You know, the way it builds up and everything.
Yeah.
It feels
Solid.
like they take the time with this song, with this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, slow burn.
Yeah, there's no rush. There's no rush to ending it. Nick, what about you? Are you a fan of this song, or are you gaveling it?
I mean, the song is fine. It didn't really go anywhere for me. It just kind of took a long time, but it did sound really interesting, and it made me curious enough to actually like look up the gear he used on the song because I didn't know how these sounds were being made. But it was pretty cool. I was expecting a synthesizer because of the little ARP in the beginning that kind of disappeared and went nowhere. I'm assuming that was just the tail end of a different song. But I looked it up, and it was the cello sound is just a guy using a guitar and some kind of pedal made by Electro Harmonics that's just turning his guitar into this like cello sounding thing.
Yeah.
And that's just him playing guitar the entire time.
It's like, what was that other one? 1251 from like Reptilia. They have like a lead that sounds like a synth, but it's a guitar.
I had no idea that was a guitar. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yep.
Well, that's neat.
Well, I guess that's gonna be a theme later too. Is a lot of guitar-based music. Surprise, no synth, all guitar.
Super.
About time.
Caleb, how about you? How'd you feel about this track?
So I mean, pretty much. What am I trying to say here? It's like anytime Jasper has put on music for me, it's always like with this playlist and the last playlist, like it's like I probably wouldn't seek this out on my own, but I don't hate this. And I haven't listened to the Strokes a ton, but like again, they've never really offended me, so I would say this is just fine. I like the build. He goes, I think he's a good singer. Like he's like, oh, I'm gonna sing cool melodies, but I sound like I took a lot of opiates also. But then I'm gonna surprise you at the end when it builds up and start, pumping it out. And yeah, this one's not bad. Not my favorite on the list, but I'm gonna warn you guys now. I don't have a lot of hate for this playlist, and I don't know. Maybe it's just all the wonderful memories I have of smoking redonkulous amounts of weed with Jasper and chilling to this kind of stuff, or just the love and respect I have for Jasper. But yeah, it's not bad.
Nice.
Not bad.
Thanks. I was hoping to create some controversy.
We'll get there, maybe.
All right.
Yeah, perhaps not yet. Well, that brings us to the second track on here, "Puppeteer" by Jerry Paper.
Yeah.
I just want to say the fucking cover art is great for this one. It's like the dude in the field with the alien eyes or whatever. Like, hey.
Oh yeah.
Where's how'd you bring this to the playlist?
So I found Jerry Paper through Mild High Club. It's like a previous album, Mild High Club did a collab, and I found Mild High Club through King Gizzard and their like Sketches of Brunswick East album they did together. Yeah, I found Jerry Paper and loved it. I loved all of his albums. He did this one, Tune Time Raw, and Bad Bad Not Good is the backing band for it.
Oh, dude.
It's fantastic. It's a cool collaboration. And this is like just it's like a chill song from one of his most recent albums. And just how it went well into the next song. It was a good Jerry Paper song to put on there. And for like the chill beginning of the playlist,
Yeah.
Stuff I like.
Yeah. It really does. It flows really well out of that Strokes song.
Yeah, and if you listen, Jerry Paper has like a new single, and it came out, and it's what you would expect the Strokes to be doing now. If it's not as like electronic-y, it's a little more like garage rocky.
Okay.
So, yeah,
That's cool. I do want to follow up. Like that was something I noted. I was like, definitely follow up with Jerry Paper. This track's just got like some fucking groove. It's interesting. Like I could see that connection for sure from like Mild High Club to this. And I want to tell you, since the last time you were on, I've like continued to go into King Gizzard.
yeah,
for sure. Like you officially like got me with those last couple of tracks, and so like that's kind of led me down some holes too. So this is sick though, if you ask me.
I love it. The piano, the like soft kind of keyboardy sounds.
Yeah.
Everything's all fuzzy and
yeah, it's so dreamy kind of.
Mm-hmm. His background like synths like whoa.
Yeah, dude.
I'm a sucker for that kind of thing.
I love it. But Caleb, are you a sucker for it?
I don't mind it. It's there's aspects of it I like. I like the dreamy. There's a lot of dreamy stuff in this playlist, and it just kind of makes me feel like we're floating through space in like an old cargo van that someone airbrushed a painting of Thor on the side of. And that's fine with me. The lyrics were interesting. Like the first little bit, it just kind of sounds like he's talking about like procrastinating, but then it gets weird and he's talking about cryopods and all kinds of weird shit. And I don't know. I like the synth, and I like the kind of Charlie Brown jazz vibe with the really weird lyrics.
The piano is super Charlie Brown.
This one's fine.
Dude, Nick, how do you feel about it?
This song had the feeling of like there's like there's two kinds of toys. There's like the shiny like name brand ones that everyone wants. You know, your Transformers and your whatever else property it is, and then there's the other toys, like the ones that you get at like the weird toy shops, and it's like some
The
weird
GoBots.
wooden puzzle
Yeah, dude, you're
block
talking about the
thing.
fucking GoBots, man.
The Kmart transform.
The most
No,
dismal.
not
That's
even
all
like
I
that.
had.
Like I'm talking like traditional, like little wooden puzzle toys, like just like
Yeah.
the small odd things that you get at like the toy store in Leavenworth.
Little, yeah, that also wasn't exactly the thing. The little train whistle.
Yeah, this is what that song felt like. Like it's enjoyable if you just let it be enjoyable
Definitely.
for me. And so I mean, I'm not often in a mood where I'm gonna let something like this just be enjoyable. I'm impatient and an angry person. But yep, this song does just kind of tumble around like a toy, and it is enjoyable like that. I even spent some time like I got lost at one point trying to count out the timing of like the main like riff in the beginning, and I just gave up. My brain does not do math. But it was a fun little listen, and then it just gets like dreamy out of nowhere. Just I think about halfway through the song, and it was pretty interesting to listen to for the rest of it. This is probably not something I don't think I'll seek out on my own, but listening to it in this moment and earlier, I very much enjoyed it.
Right on. Sweet.
Dusty, you gonna follow that paper trail?
I kind of echo the same sentiments as Nick and Caleb. It's relaxing and, it's just really, a laid back song, but it's probably not something I would actively seek out, but I did enjoy it, so I'll give it that.
Fair
It's
enough.
fine.
That's fine. Jameson, how about yourself?
So I guess Nick said it as well, but it's just a really interesting track, like start to finish. I still don't really know what like genre this fits into and how to classify it, but that's okay. It makes it even more interesting because you're thinking about that the whole time. So another track that I really enjoyed.
Nice.
That's
I
what
know,
I'm
so-
saying.
Somewhere it's kind of like not quite music, but not quite like dream pop. It's kind of like, I don't know, reminds me sort of like Napoleon Dynamite. Like this, like the newer albums are a little more produced, and the older stuff's a little more like lo-fi. So it has that like, I don't know, like I guess Napoleon Dynamite's like the vibe I could say.
It's just small town synthwave or
I
something
feel
of some
that,
sort.
for sure.
Like, or not. I don't
But,
know. Man.
Leavenworth Toy
synth
Shop
pop.
wave.
Yeah,
Like-
it's also like jazzy, and a lot of his lyrics and like themes and stuff are based off of philosophy and stuff that he's reading. So there's like some deep layers to what's going on.
Yeah, I think the music is definitely like you can tell the lyrics are kind of is where like I think the artist really like kind of has fun with some of that, like plugging in some random thoughts or ideas, but the music is just like it lulls you into like all of a sudden you're listening to it, and like Caleb was kind of saying, if you really pay attention to the lyrics, they sort of change a little bit as you go through, and you're just like, wait, what was that? And it's kind of, I don't know, yeah, it's pretty interesting. But the next track, it like kind of takes you in a different direction. Like if this one lulls you, the next track kind of it kind of wakes you up a little bit more, I'd say. It's the Go Team. Everyone's a VIP to someone. So where does this fit into like your reasoning for this, like the like playlist here, the playlist flow, you know?
As far as the flow, it's like those first songs are pretty chill and kind of like building up, and this one definitely has a lot of dynamics and gets pretty amped up. I just kind of like interestingly, after listening to it for a while, all three of these songs are last songs from albums.
Yeah,
So this is
cool.
also the closer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's just got that, I don't know, it's very upbeat and it gets going, and it starts out with that banjo, which is a little almost like a misdirect because it takes a whole other direction.
Definitely.
I don't know, like it just seems to have that good, like it's like a very positive energy, and it's like upbeat but not really fast or like hard. It's like based off of, you know, some like Sonic Youthy sort of punk stuff, but also like Bollywood film score like samples.
Okay.
Like has that like Western film score vibes.
I was gonna say, dude, like it, no matter, like every time I listen to it, it reminds me of like, I feel like the ending of like a cowboy movie, and like the cowboy and his partner are riding off like like into the sunset, you know, or something like
a romantic spaghetti western.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I'm a sucker for that too. So
It's a fucking vibe, dude. It's a like I got like I think it's fucking great. Like
yeah,
like this made me definitely want to follow up again on these cats, but it's like, yeah, it's like it's such an interesting, you're right, I think it gives you this weird misdirection, and then by the end of the song it's just this grandiose sounding like thing, you know, with this banjo that still rides out in the middle of it.
yeah. I did a song like quite a while ago. It's called "Shit Your Pants," but there's no vowels. It's like SHEYRPNTS. And it's got this real, like the organ kind of solo in it is real similar to this and another song that the band does. And so, you know, as far as influences go, I had to put this on here. I've been listening to this album, you know, since like 2007 or 8 or whatever. And it's always on my radar, always listening to it. And I think this is a badass track from it.
Hell yeah. Dude, like I said, man, that picture that I have in my head, I was like, I want to be on a horse riding off into the unknown.
I gotta say, because you guys stole the thoughts right out of my head. Like as I'm listening to it, like I just what I want to picture is like a 70s style movie, like montage of all of us, like, you know, crossing the plains and wagons and just getting up to hijinks around the campfire and
the little estate in the prairie.
and just like this music's playing, and there's like a part where, you know, we're having a shootout with some bad guys, but someone's still just sitting there playing that banjo.
Opening credits to our sitcom in the western.
And it's just like it totally like threw me for a loop. I'm like, what the fuck is this gonna be? But then it just kept going. I was like, oh, okay, you got me with those horns, because it's just real chipper and silly. I think this was contender for my top on the list, because it just
Nice.
put such a vivid image into my head.
Nice.
Let's make that music video.
Let's make it happen. Oh man. Nick, how did this paint any picture in your head? Did you enjoy the build in this song at all? Like the banjo playing, anything?
I did. I have no idea where if you would have asked me to predict what song was going to be coming next, I would not have predicted this song.
No,
And it was just so out of a left field. It was like getting sucker punched with just the most delightful experience for me.
It was so pleasant.
It was so strange and so unexpected, and it just kept going, and I just kept liking it, and I don't know why. This was one of my favorite songs on the playlist.
Definitely.
It was a very strange experience, but I mean I got all of the same like TV Land vibes. Like, you know, it's a Turner classic movie but it's like a western from the 60s. It's a little too self-aware.
Yep, like melodrama for sure.
Yeah. And it didn't surprise me that you said that was an album ender either, because that had like season finale vibes to it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's the closing kind of ending of everything. It all turned out well. Maybe there's a little bit of sadness because we have to part ways, but we know we're doing all right.
Yep, they'll know that they can always contact each other by letter.
Telegram.
The post always runs.
And if this is the playlist just starting, here's like the loss of innocence. Here's right here. This is, the end of the first third.
Yeah, fair enough.
But
The first fifth of it, I
yes,
guess.
overall, excellent rating. Excellent rating on this song. I've very, very much enjoyed it.
Master Gill, how about yourself?
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's very catchy. At first, the first thing I thought about was, for some reason, in the Ocarina of Time, they going to that farm and that music they're playing,
Oh man.
and I was like, and then I get more and more of the Western vibes, but it was very delightful, and upbeat, and made me feel happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They should have put that over the end credits of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, I just finished that game. So good.
It would be perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Dead. Jameson, how about yourself? How about you, man? Did this
I thought,
build you up?
of course, yeah, this is another banger once again. I thought I was being clever. I should have known better, saying that this is like a parody of a 70s Western track. So I guess I'm not as clever as I thought I was. But
No, dude, it's just that we all have that shared dream. We wanna make that a reality. We should do something, maybe like take a trip down the Oregon Trail or something, boys.
it just has such a
we
good.
can go to a ghost town.
What's that one in over the pass, like Ruby something? There is a ghost town in Washington on one of the passes.
Marlin. Check out Marlin. That's a ghost
Could
town.
be.
There's a Wellington. There's a few.
Finland?
But
Wellington.
Either way.
Jameson, what are your thoughts on this song?
Either way, it's just such a fun ride, and the way it builds and finishes off, it's just another great track. So yeah, nothing else to say besides another fucking banger.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Kudos,
Watch out.
man.
When you go to listen to the Go Team, there is some there's some double Dutch style rapping, it's a weird combination they throw in there, like schoolyard rhymes done in raps.
Okay.
There are some tracks, some of it's
Intriguing.
instrumental. Yeah, it's just an element of their music.
It's everybody has their ups and downs, I suppose.
Yeah,
It'll be- yeah.
Wheat with the chaff, and
Fair enough. All right, now we find ourselves at Carpe Diem by Solos. This song's fucking. I love the intro of this goddamn song, dude. This song has some energy, man.
it does pull you right in
But-
with the crazy triplets, whatever.
Yeah. So you did this specifically have any inspiration, or is this just a solid jam that you like?
Yeah, this it's been on playlists that I've been listening to for a long time. It's been high in my replays. I think it comes out of Everyone's a VIP to Someone really well. Just with the notes, just musically, it was a good transition, and just part of my influence, bands that have really influenced me, because it's the drummer for this band is the guitar player from Hella, so it's Spencer Syme. So it's their guitar player playing drums, and then the guy singing and doing guitar and bass did the vocals on Hella's There's No 666 in Outer Space album. And he also has a crazy kind of freak folk side thing that he does. So he and Spencer have this album and one other one they did recently. So it's kind of connected into that universe of music that I listen to.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's just I can't speak enough to how much I love the drumming in this track. Just it's fast and it moves and it makes you instantly want to move with it, and then the guitar just fucking riding over the top, or not even it goes, I don't know, it's just either way, it just has a fucking energy that pumps you up. Like I feel like.
Yeah, the whole album's really cool. It's sort of like prog emo, sort of the whole thing is. This is sort of a standout track from the album. The rest of it has a slightly different feel. So this is a more like positive, more like an upbeat, more like major song from all of them. But yeah, it's an interesting project, interesting album.
Hell yeah. Jameson, how'd you feel about this track by the solos?
So, like a common theme for me in most of the playlists is there's always one song that gives me anxiety, and this one definitely does at the beginning. But the way that they finally resolve as it builds and builds and builds, as soon as it resolves, I was just like, fuck yeah, this song is a goddamn jam.
Hell yeah.
So, another killer track, man. You're fucking killing it up to this point.
Yeah, you're raking it in, man. Dusty, how'd you feel about this song?
I like it quite a bit. I really like that tone on the guitar of that main riff. It's different. Like at first, if you don't really listen to it too close, it just sounds like normal guitar. But there's something weird to it. I don't know if it's like a slight phase on it or some fuzz on it. But yeah, that one definitely stuck out to me the most. But yeah, no, it's a catchy tune as well. I will give it a 8.
Out of how many?
We will never know.
There's no denominator.
He's just giving it an 8.
Yeah.
We're doing.
What's the highest number?
Will be base 8, so just 8.
If it's 8, it's 8. Nick, is this 8 for you, or is this or did you enjoy it in another way? I don't know.
I'm trying to think of like a different way to give an extremely vague answer as to how I feel about it, and I can't do anything better than just the number 8.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say how I feel about the song instead.
Fair enough.
Overall, this is a miss for me. This is like the wrong kind of math rock for me. This is like bad times jamming with bands that I don't like jamming with. For me, I did not enjoy this. It was super, like Jameson said, it was very anxious to listen to. Not the most anxiety-inducing track on this playlist, I will admit, but I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it. I did like the main triplets riff, though. I mean, everyone enjoyed that part of it. I liked that. It reminded me of something Jimmy Page might have done, but sped up. And I think that's kind of why I liked it. But overall, the song I did not enjoy. It just kept choosing to do things that it knew would stress me out.
If you had this song in a bus pass, you'd have a bus pass.
And the number 8.
And an 8.
Well, Caleb, what about you, man?
I really liked it. I was kind of confused at first. I'm like, is that guitar, or is it like a weird synth, or is it strings? And like it was kind of cool because it doesn't sound like guitar until, like, I think Jameson mentioned this earlier, like this is a headphones playlist. Like I listened to it open air with a speaker and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. All right, but then I listened to it again with headphones. It was like, okay, this makes a lot more sense because like you get all those nuances and subtleties. The drumming is amazing. I really like that really frantic build-up, and then that kind of like, I don't know if it's halftime, but kind of like coast in that little chorusy bit. The vocals remind me of what was it? Animal Collective a little bit, like the tone of his voice. And yeah, I was just like, start to end, I was like, this is such a fucking Jasper song. And
Yeah.
I really liked it. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
Totally, it is. I knew it from the first time I heard it. It's like
This was made for me.
Yeah, like the last 4 years, it's been on every playlist, and I've maybe finally just gotten close to playing it out this time. But it's taken a long time. It is probably 4 years of being a top 10.
Oh damn. Yeah.
An 8.
You're putting in the fan work, man.
An 8.
I'm getting them their plays for sure because I don't think they have a ton.
Well, shout outs. Hey, you know, solos. We know you're listening.
What up, Sacramento?
The next track, somebody we've seen on the pod before, the OCs. But this track is Night Expo. So
Got it.
this one's definitely some it's a groovy little track, I'd say. It's got some I don't know. It's just, like the vocal work at the end kind of reminds me of like it's like a guy trying to be like goblin-esque almost, but not too goblin-y, you know? Like
Yeah.
it's like I fucking dig it. Like anyway, Jasper, yeah, we're like, why choose this the OC's song? You know,
So, this playlist had a little trouble with it. You know, getting 15 songs. Like 10 was pretty easy, but getting 15 was kind of a struggle. And I haven't been listening to like a ton of music lately. Been listening to a lot more like comedy, a lot of stand up and like comedians podcasts and you know, I don't know, just a lot more stand up comedy than usual.
Nice.
So there were some other songs in the front half of this playlist and I moved them around to the back. And then I was like, what am I going to do? And this one seemed to fit really well, seemed to connect this song, the last song, and the next one pretty well. And get to show another side of the OCs because The Dream is a pretty, like, you know, distinct song. The one I had on my last playlist of like their older, more like garage, crazy, like Pink Floyd on meth style. And then like you picked Nightcrawler, which is a crazy, like a weird choice to pick from the Floating Coffin, which is a kick-ass album.
yeah, I feel like it was a
weird
big
one.
shocker. Not a lot of people dug it, I think, on here.
No, because it's like The Cure, but like at half speed, kind of, with some weird synths. So this is at least a shorter song by the OCs. So if nobody likes it, at least it's dynamic. It takes some changes. It's got that kick-ass like synth, and then you know, his fuzzed out guitar, and it is like very goblin-y and like post-apocalyptic vocal, you know, with like hiding and smoke, like the filling up on rubber smoke. And the OCs are just always really attached to like Fallout 4 for me, so they have a like connection. Their albums, you know, like John Dwyer is a big like D&D and fantasy sci-fi nerd, so he'll catch a lot of like those references in his music.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's, you know, the album's called Orc, and the album cover is a little gradient with a weird goblin-y guy on the front. So there's, and the album's great. The album's great. Sounds like thrash, psychedelic mix. Fantastic.
It does, like, you could apply this to like, I don't know, like a post-apocalyptic like scenario where it's just like you got a car, you're driving, you need to stop for a fill up somewhere, you know, like you bash some people along the way, you know. Like there's like this like it's like a anyway there's this cool vibe, and I do think that this is, I'll admit it, it's a better pick than the last the OC song that I chose, just because it's definitely just got more dynamic, and it's just got more fucking energy all around, like up and down, like it captures your attention a lot more. Yeah, I definitely appreciated this one. I appreciate you redeeming them, hopefully.
Hopefully. If not, there's more, and I'll keep putting them on there.
Exactly, just keep throwing them at these guys. Nick, how'd you feel about this song?
I think this one was my favorite on the playlist, actually. I believe I was one of the people that was very displeased with the last of the OC song we had.
You were.
And that made me not at all interested in listening to that band again. This, on the other hand, was just delightful.
Nice.
I was totally sold on the idea that it was just going to be that goofy little synthesizer in the beginning. I was just ready for that to be the whole song. And then it just jumps into like the more hard rocking parts, gets into like the groovier bits. It was just a ton of fun to listen to, and it was just every single section of the song repeated enough times to where you really got the satisfaction out of the groove, but it never overstayed its welcome. I don't know, it was a super fun song to listen to. I was absolutely loving the goblin vibe. This is just music that would play in a cool goblin club, but only the coolest club. Like not every goblin can get into this one.
Hell yeah.
It's an exclusive
Oh, no.
Goblin Club.
Very much enjoyed it.
Fuck yeah.
So I will be revisiting this album specifically.
Dude, yeah, I hope you like it. There's some really cool stuff on there. Some like droney, synthy songs. And like from this album on in their discography, you get into a lot more like drawn out and synth heavy songs. Like a return to their older like synth chill style.
Yeah, I'll definitely be checking that out.
Misty, yourself? Do you find yourself intrigued?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of King Gizzard. I don't know. Maybe just me getting those vibes from it. Maybe it's the goblin thing. But it does. It's like a good jam song. I feel like they would jam this out live. You know, like for a really long time. That's like my gut feeling from that. But it was okay. I mean, it wasn't too long, so that's good. That's fine. But I enjoyed it. The synth part was pretty catchy at the start, and the main riff is catchy, just you know. But yeah, it's a solid one, and so it's as Caleb would say, that this is the Jasper song.
Hell yeah.
Jameson, how'd you feel about this track?
Well, you weren't alone in that, Dusty. I also got King Gizzard vibes from this, which both King Gizzard and up to this point, the OCs have not been my favorite thing we've been exposed to. But this is another banger, man. I'm just gonna keep giving you props on this. Like the crazy goblin vocals just work so well with it that it's just a rad fucking song.
Hell yeah.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
Caleb, did this make you feel like a goblin? Did you want to join the hordes?
See, usually I would consider myself perhaps anti-goblin because they tend to do bad things. But
Hey man, not all goblins are bad, man.
and that's what I'm getting to. I realize, goblins need a music outlet too, and this is it. And I was all for it. I think I tapped into the collective unconscious of the post-apocalyptic kind of sci-fi goblins in the desert vibes.
Yeah.
And I was pretty stoked to be on that convoy, just trucking along through the sands and the dunes. And well, I would assume we're fighting with the goblins, because the ones that aren't nice, but I bet you that the ones that are nice were just back in their goblin caves recording this, and I support that. This was a fun song.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So, are you saying though that this was supposedly maybe like a goblin, like a resistance song?
Yeah,
like they're resisting the goblin war on the remaining human beings in this post-apocalyptic world.
I think that these goblins wanted to live at peace with the humans, but the other goblins were, they were just angry after living under the ground for eons, and they wanted to take back the surface, and they can't be stopped. But those of us who survive the apocalypse will make a treaty with these goblins, and we'll listen to cool music in the cave.
Fair enough. Okay. The treaty, the Great Goblin Treaty of 2023.
We have our second movie now.
Yeah.
We have
Two
a
movies.
spaghetti western and now a goblin treaty movie.
That's what I'm saying. We're just dropping good ideas. Okay.
It's such a cinematic playlist. It invokes so much like imagery.
Well, we're like,
It does, man.
like riding out into the sunset. The sunset is like the nuclear bomb drop, overseas. It's the nuclear explosion. So we're riding off into the nuclear sunset, and then later cruising around with goblens. Form an armada.
Goblins.
This is gonna be a fucking epic movie.
We cruise around in a top down like Cadillac convertible, and every now and then we stop and we hit golf balls at goblins that run at us because they're from afar. I can see it all. I can see this whole picture.
I want to
Steam
mount
just-
an M2 to the Cadillac. I'm not fucking around with golf balls.
Well, no, those are for sport. We have real weapons, of course.
Okay, good.
Where are you gonna get an M2?
What's the final
Nick's,
M2?
Nick's biggest problem in this whole thing.
Well,
Yeah,
just
Walker,
because,
man.
man.
M2.
Like M2s are hard enough to get like without without an apocalyptic scenario. You think you're just gonna happen across a Browning M2 machine gun?
Nick, you put lame ass clutch songs that talk about laser weapons, so
Yeah, it's
Fuck your
fantasy.
Yeah, this is
this
fantasy.
is a movie. A movie is fantasy.
Hey man, this is old
Caleb
heart
put
radio.
himself into the
Everything's
story,
fantasy.
man.
Oh, listen.
Gets to
we
play
went-
by the rules.
after the apocalypse, we went and raided some old military bases, and we scavenged some supplies and equipment, and we just happened to get lucky and find an M2.
There- You know,
It's an interesting
If-
story point. Don't
Or-
fucking pick
If
this
or
up.
maybe-
if any corn dogs out there want to help us write some fan fiction, please feel free to DM us and send us some chapters.
Or maybe we raid a Kmart and find a super soaker. Aha.
Good one. All right, so the next track, Super Soaker by Waves with two V's.
Ooh.
Waffle has an apocalyptic vibe to him.
This is another fucking dude, like Jasper, where does this wild track come from?
I don't really. I mean, Waves. They've always kind of been on my radar. Like I've heard of them, but never really cared to listen to them. Another band where their collaboration with Zach Hill put them really in my face. They did for a brief period where like the dude's original band members quit playing music with him. There was like a brief period where he played music with Zach Hill. He did like this really cool song, "Hey Cool Jumper," did like a sick video for it. And like briefly toured with him and like never really released music, but wrote this album and then went on to tour with some other musicians. And I think this is probably the best of like Wave stuff, like the surf punk, like, I don't know, sort of nihilistic surf punk music. They have like really cool stuff, like their older albums, you know, there's like beach goth and like beach punk and all sorts like, you know, clever, witty, funny shit. Just a big fan. And I know a lot of people on the council like the pop punk. So this was one I was going to try to slip in to like maybe get everybody back on track of liking it. But so far, everybody's liked the music. So I guess I really went for the fences.
No, dude, like this, I think you're kind of right in painting that picture where it's like really bright, angry surf punk, like, you know, at parts, and it's just like I don't know. I fucking dug it. Like I think it's I'm having a hard time hating like the playlist, like, to be honest. So I'm hoping somebody else might dislike this track. I mean, not that I'm casting dislike onto your track, but
A little bit of spice
the
for
corn
good podcasting.
for blood. God damn it, Caleb. How do you feel about this Waves track?
I like this one.
God damn it! No, I'm just.
I mean, I didn't
Okay.
really. I got like the punk vibe, but not really like a pop punk vibe. And there was enough like kind of psychedelic surf stuff in there that I was like, yeah, I like this. And to me, it's so aptly named that it's Super Soaker, because this in my mind just kind of like is the quintessence of like just 90s nostalgia vibes. And
Yeah.
at least for me, I don't know. The 90s were probably different for me than you guys. We've been over this, but the
90s were just like 2 years ago, right?
pretty much.
Still fresh in everybody's memory.
But it makes me want to slip down a slip and slide and have a Super Soaker fight in the yard and just have a good old time on a sunny summer day. And the cat on the album cover is cooler than I have ever been or will ever be. So yeah, positive review.
that cat's seen some shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. The album cover looks like a really cool acid tab.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? If you were an acid dealer, a really cool name would be Jerry Paper.
Mm.
Hey, it's me, Jerry Paper.
I have slug eyes.
Friendly neighborhood paper dealer.
Yeah.
Paper salesman.
Your mailman. Both cards.
I'll have 2 reams, Mr. Jerry.
Mr. Jerry. Nick, how'd you
Give
feel
me your
about this
finest card stock.
That wouldn't work.
Nick, how'd you feel about this song?
Yeah, the song was pretty fun. So I could it's not something I'm gonna enjoy like right now in February, but there's a very specific feeling for music that I want when I'm driving to the beach to surf. Good, and this is that vibe. This is
Nice.
exactly the music I want to listen to. So it was interesting listening to it because at first glance I thought it was like this indie sort of Britpop band, and I was like, oh, okay, interesting. And then it kind of kept sounding like that, but then they were just making all of these just like seemingly random choices in their arrangement or in their chord changes or melodies or whatever, and it was because I did not realize it was any kind of punk at all. I thought it was this like Britpop thing going on.
Oh, yeah.
And it was extremely confusing to hear this like prog rock Britpop that I was just so absolutely confused that I was approaching this music just upside down. But with the explanation, it makes a lot more sense. It's going into my surf playlist. I'll revisit it. It's pretty good.
The whole album would be great for a surf playlist if you're trying to get amped up for surfing. The opening track, King of the Beach, it was hard to not put that on here, but left it there.
Sacrifices have to be made.
Yeah. Leave a little tease, so there's something good in that album for you to find if you like this one.
Nice.
Ooh. Well, I'll go check it out around surf season.
Dusty.
I have no qualms about this track. It definitely, I do get the 90s thing because I immediately think of like a montage of just random 90s shit and I hear it. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just, that was like the first thing that popped into my head was that. And it's the song itself is honestly like kind of just generic surf rocky pop punkiness, which I like, but it didn't like stick out to me too much. It's not as good as some of the previous songs on this playlist.
Ooh. A little deflated there, eh? Jameson, how about yourself?
So, I know that it was intentionally done, but the backing vocals, how fuzzy they were, really bothered me for some reason. I didn't like that, but it has such a good energy to it that it kind of draws you right back in, and I can overlook that. Not my favorite on the list, but another good energy song. Got no issues with it, so it's better than fine.
Oh.
Nice.
Uh-huh. And that brings us to a name that I was surprised to see on the list because I haven't like listened to them in so fucking long. I feel like Tara Melos, like Men's
Yep.
Shirt. Is this like a newer work by them?
Yeah, I think it's 2017 or 18 when this
Yeah.
album came out. It's their most recent one.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, I think shortly after this, like 2019 or something like that, their drummer ended up with like brain cancer, so they had to take a little hiatus.
Bummer.
Yeah, but Nick Reinhardt, the guy behind it, their guitar player, is like, I don't know, he's the shit. He is like a master of guitar pedals and anything like pedal related. So, like, I don't know, spend half of my time, half of the media I consume is like Nick Reinhardt YouTube videos, just him making crazy shit with, a handful of really oddball, bizarro pedals.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, this album's great. I've been, into it since about it came out, but, been listening to Tara Melos for a long time. It's a part of that whole, like hella Sacramento area scene. Nick Reinhardt has some music with Zach Hill, like Undo K from Hot, that came out recently.
Okay.
Some wild, like thrash noise music.
Yeah.
Nick
Trash
Reinhardt,
noise music.
yeah. Nick Reinhardt also has like a sort of like 90s like Polaris type of music project called Disheveled Cuss. Also pretty rad. But yeah, just the vibe from this song is kick ass. The bass line and the bass tone is so like thick and chunky, and like then it kind of flips to where the end the guitar is the really heavy part, and just the oversaturation, and like right before the end where it's just so much distortion, the guitar is like clipping out. Just gnarly, a gnarly song.
It is, and it's like honestly, like some of the tones in this song are just so fucking like addicting almost. Like it's weird. Like you're just, I don't know. Like yeah, I like this made me want to re-dive into them. So I really appreciated this. Like I completely like erased them from my fucking brain for, you know, because Jeremiah, I think this was a group that he used to like, you know, try and jam down my throat. He's like, you have to listen to it, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, I will. Like,
this album, Trash Generator, and then X'd Out, the one before it, are both just fucking awesome. X'd Out has a lot more like punk, like skate punk sort of vibes to it, and like dreamy skate punk stuff. Okay. This one's a little more like intense.
Yeah, this song is definitely a win for me. This might be one of my favorites on here for sure. But I also love the album named Trash Generator. Just aren't we all?
Yep. What are we doing? What am I doing? Just generating some garbage.
Generating trash. Jameson, how'd you feel about this track?
So, while I'm going to preface this by saying that the bass player in this, like listening to the bass lines and stuff, he's fucking jamming out on it. It's really cool. But I'm going to say this is the first song that didn't really hit for me on the playlist. This is the first one I have issues with. I feel like so much of the song is like building, and it takes way too long for it to pay off, to the point where when it finally does and it finally picks up some energy, I'm just done with it already. So I think this one's going to get a pass from me.
Oof.
For sure.
Dusty, are you passing or are you playing?
I kind of the same sentiments as Jameson on that one. It's a weird song.
It is.
I don't know what the vibe I get is like. It reminds me of like the GoldenEye video game, like the theme music for some reason. I'm not sure where I'm getting that vibe, but it's just weird. And the lyrics are kind of weird too. Yeah, but I've thoroughly enjoyed this playlist, and I don't hate this at all. It's not like it's some techno bullshit or chanting music of some sort. Or Devin
Electronic
Townsend.
music as a whole is the new Devin Townsend.
Yeah. So
I mean, I do like electronic.
yeah, but it's not something I'd actively seek out. I don't like their men's shirt.
They're not your size.
Nick, you trying on this men's shirt?
I'm not shopping at this store even. This song,
damn.
I will admit the tones of some of the instruments sounded great. But the arrangement, the writing, this song was designed in a laboratory to piss me off.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
The chord changes were just fucking irritating and dissonant. I couldn't pick up any intention behind what they were doing, and the only intention I could gather was that they were trying to make the most annoying sounding thing possible, and it worked. They succeeded. I didn't like to listen to it, and that's all I've got.
That's all I have to say about that.
somewhere in that lab, they're listening to this. Finally, we got it.
I feel like they focus group tested that song.
Finally got Nick Flannery.
Caleb, does this scratch your itch, or are you throwing it out?
It's weird, man. There's aspects of it that are cool, like the pedal work, that Jasper was talking about. There's like a lot of cool tones, but it was like scary jazz, and for a while I was kind of like just play the right notes, but then when the part where he says like, do you like my men's shirt? Got it from my grandpa. Like that made me laugh, and it made me think of like Rick and Morty. Like,
Exactly, dude.
I don't know. It was weird.
Got it from my grandpa.
This one made me kind of anxious, but I respect the you know, the musicality of it, because I think you kind of have to be good at music to like make this weird type of shit, make it like, I mean, the cohesive kind of sounds contradictory, but like it accomplishes what it's setting out to do. And I never in a million years would have thought to be like, yeah, I'm gonna make this. I couldn't have done it, but I don't think I'd want to either. It was scary.
It sounds like they're doing music wrong, but they're doing it again perfectly on the next bar.
Yeah,
They're
it's
just
like
just everything they're doing is wrong, but like it's very intentional.
it was very organized and well executed chaos.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the album is pretty weird and has kind of like a just that sort of weird vibe to it. There's some, you know, more cohesive songs and stuff that are more just like thrash with lots of crazy sounds. There's a song called Warp Wisp Run, and it's based off of like someone who's speed running Super Mario Brothers without doing any warps.
Oh shit.
So it's got lots of crazy, you know, guitar, weird Nintendo noises. But something about this track, I like the weird, just like kind of creepy vibe, and the way it's sort of like, I don't know, the dynamics are weird. Like you think it's going to go a little bit further than it does, and it like the intensity at the end, you know, it's not like the most extreme music that exists, but because of like the context they put it in, it's like really intense there at the end.
Hell
I think
yeah.
that's where I get down on it.
Creeped
But it
us
is-
all out.
Well,
It
like I
is.
said, I like
Upset in
it.
the hose, for sure.
But that takes us next to the to a man track, Beached. So like that whale George Costanza saves in an episode of Seinfeld, Beached. You know,
Is
This
anybody
track
a marine
is-
biologist here?
nobody raise your hand. Nobody raise your hand. Yeah. Dude, okay. So why choose this man track?
I think this is a kick-ass one out of all the tracks that they have. There's a couple of albums that I'm really stoked on. This is from like just a single. They did this, and like there's a B-side to it called Witch, but they got signed to Sub Pop, so they did like this single. And I think it's just a kick-ass song. It's a great display of like their whole style, the like cool lyrics. Like I don't know, there's a lot of effort put into lyrics. I think they're really cool. And like there's like the call and response sort of vocal styles, reminiscent of like the Cab Calloway. Some I don't know, joke on that. Just like the build and the instrumentation is just kick ass. I don't know. Man is a great band that I think I found them like when we went to Bumbershoot back in like 2008, and they've just been kind of in my mix ever since then.
Nice.
Another Baltimore band, so you know, big shit coming out of Baltimore with them. We got Man Beach House is from Baltimore.
Okay.
Future Islands. Throw
Yeah.
some flowers to Lucas for bringing up Future Islands.
There
I'm a
you
big
go.
fan. They're also from Baltimore.
What's brewing in Baltimore? Shit.
It's pronounced
There's more.
Baltimore.
There's one more
Baltimore.
Baltimore band. They're the city of the day on this playlist. There's one more we'll get to.
Ah, shit.
Nevermore.
No.
Nevermore.
Yeah.
Well,
shit.
I do
Grab
like
a boat.
I do like this song when like that one particular vocal. I mean, it stands out. I'm sure everybody knows it, but like the whole like the doomsday clock, like I love when it like kind of wraps everything down to that point, and then it kind of relaunches the song from there.
Yeah, it is cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of like really fun dynamic to this song.
Watch an alligator eat your neighbor like an hour later.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, we're talking about post-apocalyptic shit. Like, definitely, this obviously paints like a really like fun picture.
For sure.
Fun in quotations, I suppose. Dusty, how'd you feel about this song?
Oh, I enjoyed it quite a bit. The intro did not see that coming. It's like super chaotic, and then it goes right into the piano, which I enjoyed. It reminds me a lot of Billy
Those-
Joel for some reason.
Yeah, man, I put that Billy Joel track on my playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, love that you put that on there. I grew up with a lot of Billy Joel.
Yeah.
My sister's name is Lena. I don't know if any of you are big Billy Joel fans. You know that's a Billy Joel track. Yeah, Broken
Shout outs.
Parents are big.
Shout out Billy
DJ
Joel.
fans.
Shout out to all the corn dogs who are
We
Listen to
strictly do
McCloud.
80s Joel
ultimate
here.
Billy Joel fans.
But I like this quite a bit. It also gives me vibes of like a early 2000s rom-com. I'm not sure why, but it feels like it'd be fitting on something like that or like the show.
It's a post-apocalyptic rom-com.
Yeah, I like Hugh Grant's in it.
Eyes. He's got 4 legs.
Yeah, Hugh Grant plays a mutant.
Must love 3 legs. something dumb. But I enjoyed it, and the piano was fun. It was a fun song. Interesting lyrics.
Jameson, how'd you like this track? Or
So I think this is where the playlist like bottomed out and it recovers. But for me, like the vocals and the lyric, like it's too forward for me. Like it's not really what I look for in music. They were silly, which was kind of cool, but I guess it was fine, but it didn't really hit. And if this is like the signature song that you would say, Jasper, for this band, this is not a band that I will check out any further.
Yeah, you're not gonna like them.
Caleb, how about you?
Oh man, this one scared me, but not as much as the previous song.
You're getting
That being
spooked.
said, it was creepy, man. Like, it's just got a creepy vibe. Like, it's very well executed. Like, good musicality, like you said. But like, if this song were a person, it would be like if you're at like Barter Fair, and for those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And you're feeling a little weird, and you look down one of the aisles, the rows of vendors and such, and you see some guy down in the aisle, and he's just got a strange vibe, and I just don't want to walk down that aisle. Like I do because I'm weirdly fascinated, but at the same time, I know it's going to be scary and it's going to be unsettling.
Yeah, like a man in a petticoat and a top hat who's just
It's
appeared at dusk. Like, no,
I don't know if
not
I
this
don't know
time.
if he's gonna stab me or like sell me some really good acid. It's a real roll of the dice.
He's gonna sell you some really good acid, but in exchange, you have to sell him your ashes when you die.
Yeah, something like that. Something just like what?
Yeah, man, I wasn't prepared to make a deal like this.
Jack the
Break it
Ripper
to you,
looking
Caleb. You're
fucker.
coming back as a thrall.
Yeah,
Cut your hand open and then drop the acid into it.
yeah.
That's
Like,
the only way.
the only way he's gonna like give me some kind of treasure is I have to trade him a vial of my blood, and it's like that's an interesting story and experience, but it's not the most comfortable one, and that's basically the essence of this song.
Yeah, every Faustian story we've ever been told is a warning. So,
This
Well,
song is Faustian.
Nick, did this song give you any weebie-jeebies yourself?
no, it did not. It seemed perfectly innocuous. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but of course the people who always have the most negative things to say about Clutch also wanted to say negative things about this song.
Yeah,
Come on.
that's what I'm saying.
This song was a bop.
Hell yeah.
Bop.
It was a lot of fun. It didn't feel like it took itself too seriously. It just kind of rolled with what was kind of fun to do at the time, and I think it really lent itself well to it. And I really enjoyed the tone of the instruments as well. It kind of had this like rockabilly slapback to it. And I enjoyed that part. But overall, this was a fun one. I liked it.
Yeah, their music's got a real wacky. It's like half wacky, half like super somber, just like self-pity. Like, I don't know. Alcoholic depression sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then with like the horns, and they use a lot of like public domain songs as like the basis for their music. So they like take obscure public domain tracks and then go wild with them.
Interesting.
One of them has like a doo-wop side project where it's a lot more doo-wop.
Wow,
That
more.
doesn't surprise me with this.
Yeah, if anybody's a fan, if anybody's brave enough to listen to doo-wop like me.
Well, okay, and coming off of this Man track, we have kind of a strange turn, if you ask me, right into this Diamond Ortiz track, West Coast Bounce. So
Yeah.
what was the reasoning between like the Man and this song? Like,
Well,
because if
it seemed like a good spot in the playlist to like take a little left turn.
Mhm.
We were into some more like intense music. It went from kind of like chill and upbeat stuff into more like intense songs, and I wanted to keep the energy up but take a left turn into the more party atmosphere. And because there's that side of music that I like to listen to and make. I like to have fun.
Oh, yeah.
And I love this kind of music. I didn't know that this was necessarily a thing, but there's a big funk scene in LA right now. They call it like boogie. It's like the boogie funk scene.
Damn.
So this is like a mashup of a song by a band called Zap. I don't know if you've heard of them, but it's a song called So Rough, So Tough. They also did another song called More Bounce to the Ounce, like an 80s funk band. It's a mashup of that, and then Tupac and Dre's California Knows How to Party.
Yeah.
And the dude uses the talk box, which I think is fucking awesome. I saw him on a podcast and he was using the talk box. Like Maddie Matheson did this one with like an old like graffiti artist, but Maddie isn't really on it anymore, so this graffiti artist is just having like just people from his scene come out and like do podcasts with him, and this is just like a musician that he knows. And I fucking love the like lowrider funk sounds. Definitely on this vibe.
Yeah, it definitely has that bounce, like
Mhm.
yeah, man, this is it definitely, well, this and like and the next track, I think, but we'll talk about that. Like you just hit this little like pocket of funk here, which I thought was kind of cool. This like I said, it was such a random track coming off the Man one. Like, if you ask me, it just catches your attention though. You're just like, what is happening? Okay.
It's an intentional left turn for sure. And like
pump it up.
It's I wanted to get some funk in the playlists, and Silk Sonic nearly made it on there because that Anderson .Paak Bruno Mars collab, that's hot shit on that. It nearly made it into this playlist.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I've listened to a Bruno Mars song that I could throw my weight behind yet, but you might have to prove me wrong.
It's got Anderson .Paak though. I mean,
Anderson
.Paak shit.
I can attest to that. I heard a song on the radio and I was like, this is Bruno Mars? Like, yeah, he should do funk. It's good shit.
Like Uptown Funk You Up. That shit's that track's good, I think. On my own there, but
if I had a cricket sound clip.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Well, it's either this song or Holiday Road, so you got this one.
You say you got this one, you fuckers. Caleb, how'd you embrace this track?
So funk it's undeniably fun and goofy, and I don't know why, but it always makes me like feel like I'm like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, and I'm trying to walk across the floor with a bunch of sticky stuff on it. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Like it's just like a
movie theater
it's very
floor.
specific.
Yeah, like it's just like there's something sticky on the ground, and I'm trying to like get through it without getting my bell bottoms dirty, but in a fun way.
I can do that scene.
Yeah, that's what it makes me feel. It doesn't make sense, but yeah, I've heard this before. One of my co-workers, she was a big fan of like this kind of funk, and it just took me back to some fun farm time memories. And yeah, I listened to quite a lot of funk, and it grows on you. Like it's hard to be in a shitty mood when you hear that silly bass.
Oh yeah,
it's good shit.
It's true. Jameson, what about you? Did you embrace the funk?
Yeah, this is just like a good drunk party song. Like, if everybody's just like right on the edge of getting sloppy, you put this on, everybody's up and moving. Like
Yeah.
it's just a good song for that. I've heard several different takes on the California knows how to party, you know, so it's a good song. I like it. But also, as I've said on other podcasts, fuck California.
Oh,
That was the demerit, if you ask me. I was like, damn it. It just has to be the California song.
Yeah, did this make it onto Dusty's California playlist?
The Tupac version is.
Mm.
Will this song make it onto the playlist?
No.
oh,
The playlist is exclusive.
Wow.
I don't hate this. It's just a lot going on. It's maybe too funky for me. I'm not the biggest funkaholic. You know,
A funkaholic.
I agree with more what Jameson said. I wouldn't probably actively seek this out, but I would, you know, to party or something like that. Definitely gets you wanting to move around and, you know, get the positive vibes going. So, but it's not for me.
Fair enough.
He's
Well-
not a funkhead.
That takes us to Nick. How'd you feel about this funky track?
This one was an absolute left turn for sure, and it was like if you just went on a journey like we did with the rest of those tracks, this is like we're coming down from that really intense moment, and then we're just gonna stop left and go to Legoland first before we go home or continue on with the journey. And this is just the fun part. I had a really good time listening to this song. I got a little confused as to the length of this particular song, and I'll discuss that on our next track. But overall, I had a very, very positive experience with this track.
Hell yeah. Well, I guess that yeah. Oh, sorry, dude. I didn't mean to cut you.
Oh, I didn't have anything to say.
Oh,
really.
no word. I feel you. By the time I apologize, the thought is gone. But that does take us into the next track. Zach, what is it? Zachary Force Funk. I have to always get it down.
Funk.
But was it El Miro Miro? This like I could see where Nick was coming from, but he can elaborate on that himself. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like where you just hit this pocket of funk here, and just you continue your little like positive uplift. And I'm along for that ride, dude.
Yeah. In making some playlists, just making ones that aren't, just 150 songs on shuffle. I've found that I really like that, like 2/3 of the way through, left turn into like some funkier jazzy stuff. And Zachy Force Funk is an artist I've been aware of for a really long time. Excuse me. I found him when I started listening to Tobacco back in like 2011, probably.
You're supposed to smoke tobacco?
Not listen to it.
You can also.
Actually, you're not supposed to smoke tobacco. Don't.
No, don't. It's bad for you.
That's why Big Tobacco doesn't support this podcast.
Yeah.
It may be dirty money, but it's still money. I'm just joking.
Listen, Big
I'll
Tobacco, if you want to support us,
We'll
can talk
take
about
your
that
money.
We can talk about that. We can talk about I won't peddle them to kids, but I'll peddle them.
How hilarious would that be if the next episode it's like brought to you by Marlboro?
Nah, we're a Virginia Slims podcast.
Yeah.
Fuck, we are.
Virginia Slims are bust.
We
We're
gotta
a
film our
75-year-old woman.
we gotta film our cowboy montage for a Marlboro commercial, and we'll use that Go Team song for it.
That could be where we get the funding for that. But either way, we're getting in the weeds. So hard. So let's get back to this funk. So Jasper, you were saying that you've been aware of Zachary Force Funk for a while.
Sometime, yeah. He did some collaborations with Tobacco, who's a of the driving force behind this band Black Moth Super Rainbow. I don't know if anybody's familiar with them. They're like a psychedelic band. So Tobacco does some cool shit, and Zachy Force Funk was on a remix album of his, and they did their own another like little side project called Demon Queen. So the two of them have some stuff, and he's also on this album by a group called Laser Sword, and they're a really cool like glitchy dark house sort of like. It's also from like 2010 or 2011, but it's like pre-synth wave blow up. So he does some music with them. So this album came out when I was living over in Belfair, and I used to like just be out in the woods like bumping this and Thundercat, just getting super drunk playing with my dogs. So it takes me back to that. And then it turns out it's like, you know, real like gangster music. There's people that like Jeremiah worked with, people out on the farm, and this is like I found it, like showed it to Jeremiah, and we were listening to it, and there's other people like, oh yeah, I know who this guy is. Like this is some real shit down in LA. So it's this funk music that goes on with the sort of like culture down there.
That's interesting.
But I just fucking love the groovy bass lines and the air horn at the end. And it makes me think of, you know, I don't know, just
fucking around in the woods.
Shit.
Low riders and fucking around in the woods.
Yeah.
Very contrasting, but I love it. Yeah, like I said, man, I mean, honestly, I can see exactly like why this like fits into that like culture, you know, just got that groove and that stanky funk on there. But yeah, this is I didn't ever realize it would be probably like a fairly prominent. Jeremiah showed me them a while ago, and I got hooked on one of their tracks, and this is another one I'll probably keep revisiting.
Hell yeah.
But Caleb, how about you? How'd you feel about this funk?
Pretty much the same as I did about the previous funk track. I think I've heard this one before too, because you know I worked at the same place that Jasper was referencing with Jeremiah, and yeah, I thought it was interesting that you know down in LA they love funk music. I was like, that's cool, you know. It makes sense because like both songs are like the perfect tempo for like the hydraulics bouncing on your car, and man, that just sounds like a great fucking time. I really like the synth in this one, just a little blast of, you know, a quick little synth melody. I think it would take second place in the funk on this playlist, but all in all, not a bad track.
Fair enough. Nick, how about you? How'd this settle in?
Well, I thought this was part of the first song. The synth tones were similar enough in my headphones while I was out walking the dog that I could not tell that this was a totally different song from the Diamond Ortiz song. And it just kept kind of rolling into this, what I thought was a totally new section of the Diamond Ortiz song. And it was like, okay, yeah, we got a new vibe going on here. And then it just kind of kept rolling with it. And I was like, man, they're really sticking with this Star Wars Cantina band vibe a little longer than I thought. It just kind of kept going. Like, I just couldn't hear it that well, but the way that woman was singing, I believe that was a woman singing.
Oh no, that's Zachy. That's his signature vocal sound.
Falsetto vocals. That's a point against it.
Yeah.
The only falsetto is good is 3 Inches of Blood and King Diamond.
I'll take it.
This one was super weird for me. I think I was halfway through it before I realized that there's no way it could have been part of the same song because the bit was just going on for too long.
Yeah.
However, it's going straight on my Star Wars Cantina playlist because I'm definitely building one of those for whatever reason. It was fun and it was funky, and I thought that lady or that guy was singing in Huttese. So
it's Spanish. For the most, it's like a mix of Spanish and English.
That didn't sound like any Spanish, which was very strange because once again, because I thought it was part of the previous song, the random language change just like threw me for a loop. I kept thought it was going to get to a point and it just didn't.
That's also definitely by design on the playlist. It's supposed to, you know, keep the funk going.
threw me for a loop.
Keep
I
the
enjoyed it,
funk
but it was just
alive.
very strange experience. And I'm going to continue listening to this one.
You know, I like a lot of electronic music. I too, you know, had my salad days in 2011 of having lots of fun. But I'm not like a rave person. I went to one rave and I hated it. So I would molly in the privacy of my own home and have a strong love for electronic music, but just like a different kind, you know?
I can dig that. I can dig that sentiment, man.
Hang on, I'll put my final comment. Like, you've really sold me on this. It's like, I was never quite sure about funk, and then it's just, it really hasn't been until like, just like on this playlist, I'm starting to realize like my more favorite types of funk, like the types that I enjoy the most, are definitely that electronic kind.
Yeah.
And that's just not something that I'd really considered as that much of an option. So thank you for that.
Hell yeah, it exists.
I didn't write down any of my notes this time.
Dusty, how about you?
I don't know. It's not for me. I guess it kind of flowed together with the previous one, but I'm just not the biggest funk person. And the voice I did think was a woman as well, so it's just can't. It's kind of like electronic music. I just don't.
I just don't.
It's not awful. It's catchy and reminds me of Gloria Estefan in some ways. I don't know why.
Oh, my baby, you can do that conga.
Yeah, maybe it's that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's I don't know. I don't know what it is, but like, was this like Miami nightclub funk? Like,
Yeah.
You're on the wrong side of the country.
Yeah, but I mean, it's coked out, neon, like
I am.
LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jameson, did this keep you moving?
It definitely kept me moving. I promise that this will be my last dig at him, but why couldn't Lucas come at us with this kind of funk instead of fucking Chromeo? Because this is way better than fucking Chromeo.
It is,
But,
it is better. Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, about 3/4 of the way through this, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to take another turn. Let's move on from the funk. But it's a good track, but funk's just not my like go-to.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, the real test, I think, of this playlist is the next track. We got Groundhog's Day by Primus. Who's gonna love it? Who's gonna support it? But first, Jasper, why'd you put this on the playlist?
I put this on here. Another one that came from like just trying to fill it out, just trying to get 15 songs and really thinking about what I could throw on there. Love Primus, another big band in the household, always on. This is one of my favorites, I think, from this album, which is their first one, Frizzle Fry. I think it still stands as one of their best. Just the way it starts so mellow, and like the guitar lead is just awesome. It's an awesome little riff. But then, much like, you know, like that Taramelos song, like Men's Shirt, it ends in a much more extreme jam going on. But they're, you know, unlike Taramelos, there's not a lot of effects. There's not a lot going on there. It's a lot of just like guitar, bass, drums doing their thing. And it's, you know, that funky prog rock, prog metal. There's a lot of Rush influence, especially in that early Primus. It's like Wes Claypool is playing like 3 Rush bass lines at the same time. Just always a big Primus fan. And it seemed to fit, like, you know, with the funk, coming out of one funk thing into another. There's a little like bass feature here in the part of the playlist.
Hell yeah. Yeah,
Also,
I mean, oh yeah.
No, it's all good. I think that's it.
Oh, I was just gonna say like this. I mean, like as soon as it came on, like I immediately like this was just like the like Jasper song. I was just like, I know this fucker and this Primus, and like just hearing the stank on the song, like like the particular Primus tone. You know what I mean? Like once the Primus song hits, you just like you can kind of pick it up right away. You're just like, I know who this is. But yeah, I just immediately associated with your face. I was like, that's Jasper right there.
There is maybe one funny little, anecdote, a little weird story. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Belfair, with that city, Belfair, Washington. Oh, it's west of Bremerton, so it's out into the peninsula, out into the forest. It's this weird little like Highway 3 hick town. We lived out there for a while, and there was a bar that we would frequent, and we were very drunk there one time on like a Thursday, and I put some money in the jukebox and I put on a handful of King Gizzard songs and then Winona's Big Brown Beaver. And there wasn't, nobody really cared about the King Gizzard. I was kind of surprised because I picked some pretty deep cuts. But then people were like singing along with Winona's Big Brown Beaver. It was a beautiful moment. I was like, this is a good
not
town.
the reaction I was expecting to this. I was expecting hostility.
No, people were stoked. Yeah.
That's fucking
On the edge of my
awesome.
seat for that story.
Yeah. Shout out to Belfair. Little,
You got it. They're getting down.
half tours, half alcoholic meth head down. Some very rowdy bingo. You ever go play bingo at some of their bars? It gets off the chain.
Some people can throw some bows.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a really good time. I kind of want to go to Belfair now. God damn.
Jameson, how'd you feel about this?
The other day?
How'd you feel about this Primus track?
So I really appreciate Primus, and I like all of their big hits like Winona's Big Brown Beaver and Jerry Was a Race Car Driver and John the Fisherman and stuff, but I have to be in such a certain mood to really appreciate Primus that a lot of the time it just doesn't hit because it's just so off the fucking wall. But they're such a jam band that it's cool to listen to them, but like I said, I at least have to be in such a mood to hear them that this one didn't really do it for me, at least in this playlist.
Fair enough. Caleb, how about yourself?
I'm a Primus fan. I haven't listened to them in consistently in a while, but I did most of that listening with Rex and Jasper back in the day, and I mean they're just an undeniably talented and underrated band by the general public, but those who know recognize the weird, slightly creepy, bizarro genius that is Primus. All the members, I mean, they're all monster musicians. This isn't my absolute favorite song off that album, but it is, in my opinion, one of their best albums. So it's like I got nothing against it. I don't know, I probably would have picked a different one, but it was really fun to have that throwback, and was like, oh shit, I didn't forget. But yeah, Primus is still a thing. I should go back to my roots, if you will. Also, Les Claypool is an avid fly fisherman, so I would love to go fishing with him and talk about music.
Oh,
Yeah.
cast a few.
Did not know that.
Go out looking for the old diamondback sturgeon.
Yeah. Well, you can't fly fish for that. But
Well, no.
not. You could figure it out, but it wouldn't be practical.
Nick, how about you?
I've never been the biggest Primus fan. I mean, I appreciate their hits. I mean, one of the first CDs I ever bought was the Sea of Cheese one. But oh man, the guitarist in Primus. I don't think any other person could be the guitarist in Primus but this guy, whoever he is.
Larry
He's just-
Lalonde.
What's his name?
Larry Lalonde.
Larry Lalonde. All right,
Fitting.
well, Larry Lalonde, you are the most Primus guitarist to ever live. It is just absolutely not the type of guitar that I enjoy or the type of guitarist I aspire to be. It's just so different and weird and just it just sounds shrill. maybe part of that's just his tone in the mix, but I don't know. It's always been the guitar in Primus for me, which kind of sucks because I'm missing like a ton of other stuff going on like elsewhere in the band. Les Claypool's obviously a genius, and the way he interacts with the drums too is just it's good music, but that guitar just throws me off to the point where I really can't enjoy most Primus songs, and this is one of them.
Fair.
Well, Dusty, did you enjoy this Primus song?
Yeah, I like Primus. I feel the same way as James, not be in a certain mood to want to listen to Primus. I do kind of regret not going and seeing them cover Farewell to Kings.
Oh,
that
it would have been
tour.
so sick.
Because
videos.
I think they went through Spokane and Seattle, and they did that back in maybe October or something like that.
Yeah.
And that would have been cool just to see them cover that album.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would do an encore with, some of the hits or whatever. But
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
well, I've been meaning to look at the set list on setlist.com and see what they ended up doing. But no, I like Primus quite a bit, and I don't have an issue with the guitar at all. I don't get that, but I think it works because they're such a chaotic band, and then I feel like the guitars adds to that chaos, and it kind of works perfectly, in my humble opinion. And yeah, Primus is just a weird band altogether. I mean, you look at the cover art, and you instantly saw that weird claymation that they use in their music videos and stuff like that. Classic nostalgia, 90s for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Well, and that takes us to, was it Detective Doggington? What? Popeye. That's it. I kept instinctively just saying Popeye, like Popeye.
Yeah. That's a terrible name. It's a terrible name.
Popeye. But this track I think is really fun. It's like, to me it's like I don't know, it could be like an extended Adventure Time like theme playing to some degree. Like it's kind of a fun track. It falls in line with some other things that have been on the playlist that you've mentioned or that we've listened to. But where's this link up with some of your influences and whatnot, Jasper?
All right. So Popeye is this dude, Cook Craig, Cookie Dog. He's one of the guitar players from King Gizzard. This is his solo
That makes
project.
sense,
So this is the album he just released a couple months ago. It's called Dream Themes, and it's theme songs for TV shows that exist in your daydreams. Is the theme for the record. And the song, it's like, Detective Doggington. It's inspired by his dog Homer, being a detective.
Yeah. Sniffing at this and that, investigating.
Yeah. He's always made really cool music. Always got great bass lines. A lot of his other albums remind me of Montreal. I don't know if any of you are fans of them, but in his vocal style and the sort of funky David Bowie, but also 60s pop style. I like that music. And this one is a mostly instrumental album, which resonates with me. I'm big into that. And I just thought the song flowed really well in the playlist and was I'd heard the album a few times and it made me want to check it out more because it grew on me even as I put it on the list.
Yeah, it's Jameson. What's that?
Well, you can go ahead and say something, but I have some notes on this song, so you go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna reiterate. I did really enjoy this one. It kind of, like I said, it sort of takes you on an interesting ride, and it makes sense. This is a side project from somebody involved in King Gizzard. Definitely has some tonality similarities. But yeah, Jameson, what you got on this track?
So, yeah, listening to this song, I wrote down I feel like it's trying to be the soundtrack to some sort of movie, and I don't know what that movie is. and I would have to listen to it several times to kind of figure it out. And then I went and read the album cover of it, and it said, hold on, let me look so I get it right. The album cover said theme music to your dreams. And I thought that was fucking perfect. Like, it fits that so. And as soon as I saw that on the album cover, I went through and I listened to. I haven't gotten all the way through it, but the other half of this album, and it's fucking awesome. Like, I this is contender and maybe my top track on this playlist. Like, I got huge Dark Side of Oz vibes from it, you know. Like, it's just fucking so sick, and I really like the whole vibe of it, the whole idea behind it. And it's, yeah, this is a fucking killer song and a killer album. Everyone should check it out.
Oh yeah. Dusty, how'd you feel about it?
Definitely get the dream sequence vibe. There's just like your mind's racing, going in 1,000 different directions with all like the changes to the sections of this, and it's interesting. I like the buildup of it. And I get the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon thing a little bit there, but yeah, it's a solid track. Give it an 8.
Another 8.
But yeah, no, I like all the different transitions and the different. It's just like, it's not like repetitive. It's not like a cyclical thing. It just goes from one end to the other. It's interesting.
Hell yeah. Nick, how'd you feel about this song?
I had no idea that there's an entire album like with this theme going on, and I'm actually pretty stoked to check out more of it. This one was a lot of fun. I would absolutely sit down and marathon Detective Doggington.
Dude, same. Caleb, would you find yourself watching a full season of The Detective?
Oh, fuck yeah. I was thinking, like, you know, I don't have a dog, but if I ever get one, I think that's the great name for the dog, because then I could just yell "Detective," you know, when he's being bad. He's trying to lock up the mailman. But yeah, like, no, this is
badge.
This was kind of like a what's the word for it? Like, I was not expecting it. Like, when it first started, I was like, this is going to be just kind of a chill, weird little jam. But the more I listened to it, I was like, this is really, it is just fucking great. Just to echo you guys, like, I love that like main little, like, you know, he's, I don't know if it's in like a 6 timing, but just like that main little guitar bit that kind of kicks in right after that mellow start that they keep going back to. And then this kind of inquisitive sounding keyboard. It's very like, it's very narrative and like, I don't know. Again, it just invokes so much like mental images. Like, it's such a perfect idea for an album, and really well executed. And I mean, that's the kind of stuff like I love when a song, whether it's through lyrics or just for the vibe, like kind of like I have like a specific like, oh, I can make up my own music video for this in my head. And this one was just so easy. And now that music video is the dog just sniffing around.
Yeah, I think that's really what it's supposed to be. I think that's the inspiration. Cookie's a pretty regular dude. He's a pretty normal individual who just happens to be in a raucous band. And I think he likes to take a lot of mushrooms too, based on a lot of his visual accompaniment to his stuff.
I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if he's an underwater boy. Might be. Sometimes I think we're all underwater boys. I don't even know what that means. But either way, Underwater Boy is the name of the next track by Turnstile. This group is like one of those groups. They're in their moment right now, I feel like. But why out of like some of their songs did you choose this one?
I love it. I just happen to love this one. The whole album is great. It's that guitar tone. It's that chorusy, like with like the little bit of whammy bar bend. That's like, I love that shit so much. Put that in a song, and I'll pay for it. 7 days of the week. It also transitions really well out of the last one. I think it's a really good, I think it's like in the same key, some of the same notes, and it flows really well. Just this album is fantastic. It's one that out of everyone I've showed it to, nobody doesn't like it. I think Glow On it's one of those albums that sort of ascends. It's greater than the sum of its parts. The album itself is just fantastic. And another Baltimore band that brings back Baltimore, city of the day.
City of the day.
Man, Beach
Farm
House,
City.
Future Islands, Turnstile.
Baltimore's got it going
Over
on.
there.
Blue crab boil.
The blue crab boil.
Everybody got crabs in Baltimore.
Yeah. Hey, come to Baltimore. Everybody's got crabs. I don't know that about Baltimore. Maybe it's true.
Itchiest city per capita.
Itchiest city per capita. That'd be a proud thing to put on a sign.
No man.
So yeah, I mean, I definitely like this song. I like when it transitions into that. I don't know, I just want to say punk rockish, section. There's these noises that happen, these hits. They're really these weird synth almost hits, or it's goo goo throughout the song. They're just really fucking fun to try and catch. There's just, I don't know, there's a lot to enjoy about this track. But Nick, how did you feel about this song?
I enjoyed it. Turnstile is one of those bands where I can just kind of tell in the near-ish future, I'm just gonna have one of those moments where I finally decide to just sit down and listen to Turnstile, and I'm gonna be hooked.
Yeah,
because it has all the elements of that, of that experience that's happened to me 3 or 4 times now with different bands. I don't know, they're just an enjoyable band to listen to. They go hard. They go hard enough for what they need to accomplish, and they go soft enough and proggy enough. I was gonna ask if they were a Canadian band because they just had a Canadian feel to them.
Yeah, I can see that.
But Baltimore
Nor'easter.
making sense. Yeah, there's something going on in Baltimore. There's tiny little snowstorms. That's what's doing it to them. But yeah, it was enjoyable. I know I have more Turnstile in my future, and I am looking forward to it.
There. Caleb, what about you?
Yeah, I didn't mind this at all. I'm familiar with Beach House, and this reminded me of that, and now I know why. Same kind of scene, but I like this better than Beach House. I like it's got a little more energy. The drum was kind of, just I like that frantic little I'm on the hi-hat, now I'm on the snare, kind of thing. Just moving things along. The production is really cool. All the effects and the, just the little echoes and sound effects. I think there was a little chime swipe in there. I really enjoyed that. And I was gonna say, Jasper, that I was looking at concerts coming through to Seattle, and Turnstile's coming in the
Showbox, yeah.
Sometime in the future, and so is King Giz.
Oh, I've got tickets already. So.
Oh, nice. I just had to make sure you were aware.
Yep, October, definitely.
Yep.
Gonna be there.
But yeah, this is good. I haven't really listened to them. Honestly, I think this is the first time I've listened to them. I've definitely heard of them before, but yeah, I like this. This is a good, again, if I'm sitting in the pool and just chilling and drinking a White Claw or God forbid, one of those hard seltzer Mountain Dews. They're coming with. Oh yeah,
dude, we're gonna hammer those at the fucking reunion this year.
Dude, I just know it. I knew you guys were gonna say that. I was I just expect just those littered everywhere. Dusty will be the only one holding dignity down while
no, we're gonna make him.
I gave up Dewskis a long time ago.
What? There's no sugar. No sugar.
I haven't
good
had
to do.
I haven't had a Dewski in 15 years.
What?
Damn.
Oh my god.
15
sugar free.
Oh man. Where we at? Jameson. How do you feel about this turnstile?
So, just a real quick side note, Dusty. I'm gonna take a little self promotion here. Since last year I'm down 70 pounds, but I drank a whole liter of Mountain Dew today while writing my notes for this song, so I cheated a little bit. But side note beside. Caleb, you have heard Turnstiles before because Jeremiah featured the first song on this album titled Mystery on his playlist, which was an absolute fucking banger. And this one also doesn't disappoint. Turnstiles fucking cool as hell. I haven't dived into their like back catalog, but I've listened to this album through a couple times and it's fucking rad. I like them a lot. They have like a really like they're a unique sound where it's like pop punk and punky and just a little bit harder at times. And this song's a little bit on the lighter end of that, but still really fucking cool. Yeah, Turnstile's great.
I don't remember that shit at all.
Go back. I think you didn't like that song, but it's good.
I might have been in a bad mood.
No, Caleb, you received that song fondly because it went a lot harder than this one, and I think it was like right next to a Knocked Loose song, which was really confusing.
I never know because it's like
Yeah, it
if
was
you
just
ask
the first
me,
song on that. Yeah.
if you ask me, hey, what do you want for dinner, and I just ate lunch, I'm gonna be like, fuck you. Like I'm not hungry right now. I can't think about that.
That's such a hostile reaction,
Well,
man.
that's how I am.
What if you need to go to the grocery store and prepare something? You gotta have
Fuck all
an
that.
idea of what
Nah.
you can have for dinner.
No.
No,
Well, Dusty,
I don't plan. I just
So
feel.
hungry.
Dusty, what's your take on this song?
At first, I wasn't digging it until the guitar really like kicked in, and it built up like that. Then that kind of hooked me in. Because it kind of led you wanting it the rest of the song, that build up, and then it has that random just like break. It goes kind of like slow again,
Yeah.
and then I know at the very end I was thinking they were gonna hook you again with that build up, and then it just stops.
Yeah.
Like they just want you to keep, digging back into it. I feel like it leaves you wanting more.
In terms of the album, it goes into like hardcore punk right after that one.
Oh,
Like it's
yeah.
like kind of
Yeah.
like
Wait.
some, yeah.
Fair
It's
enough.
like it cucks you. Or whatever.
Is Turnstile considered to be shoegaze? Because I feel like they're really towing that line sometimes.
I think with their new stuff, they're like hardcore. Their old stuff's more just in like that hardcore punk style, but with this album, they really delved into like the shoegaze style, that dreamy stuff, and then also like I don't know, it's like the Beach Boy or not the Beach Boys. It's like the Beastie Boys covering Beach House kind of. Like there's a lot of their other stuff has like a real, almost like new metal, like Beastie Boys vibe to it, but in a good way, like Limp Bizkit in a good way, if that makes sense. If that's possible.
It really doesn't make sense, but like, I'm morbidly curious.
Yeah, I don't know. The album's great. If I think about it, like putting it on paper, I don't think I would like it, but as a whole, it's so good.
Yeah, the description is honestly really off-putting.
Yeah, like it's like At the Drive-In meets the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I've always liked from what I've heard from him, but the next track is it's a different group with a really straightforward name. Just
Is
same,
the song Osho Tapes by the band Same.
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 It's all the same.
Yeah.
This is a really pleasant track, man. Like this is just like, I don't know, like you can just let some stuff, you can just let it go in this track, like it washed away with it, you know what I mean?
It is very chill.
But I want to follow up more with them. But where'd you discover them?
So I'm pretty sure I found them through Nick Reinhardt's solo project, Disheveled Cuss. It's like very 90s throwback. And this album came out just when I was listening to it. They're a small band. They have like 470 listeners on Spotify. I just happened to come across them one day, and like the song's like really chill, and with like chorusy guitars and the washed out sounds, it is very like laid back. Some of the other stuff's a little more intense, a little more like Modest Mouse or like Pavement. But yeah, it's just a great album from like a new band, a small new band.
Yeah,
and,
dude, it does have like sorry.
No, I'm one of their few monthly listeners.
Yeah.
Keeping it.
Well, that's always kind of fun to find, like that early, like those like, I mean, not necessarily like younger projects, but like relatively unknown projects, because there's such a gamble. Big projects, everybody like has their opinion, and you've heard if it's good or bad. You stumble upon something like this, and you're just like, I really don't know. Like,
yeah, you got this album, it's good. Maybe they'll make more, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll go on to be in other bands. Exciting to be at the beginning of something.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I really like this, and this I want to follow up on this album, and then that group you mentioned a couple times, Disheveled Cuss. Like that's one I want to check out. But yeah, there's this like guitar line in here. It's like and it's like it like almost goes like into that, like I can't even remember what fucking song it is, with like that like it's like oh man, we all sound like assholes on here when we do that, by the way, because nobody understands what we're doing. But
are you talking about
it's like
the song from Beetlejuice?
Yeah, it's in Beetlejuice. Yeah, it's in Beetlejuice. God damn it, dude. That's all it was. It just it has that line to it. It just gets cut off. It builds into that. But anyway, we don't need, like, it hooked me every time. I was like, where's this going? Oh, that's it. Dusty, how'd you feel about this song, man? The OSHA tapes.
It's delightful, like you said. I really get these vibes of Band of Horses meets if Ben Gibbard were to feature on a Band of Horses song, because this guy's voice kind of sounds like I get some Ben Gibbard vibes from it. Which I love Band of Horses and Death Cabs, so this stuff's right up my alley, and it's just like relaxing, and as Jared said, just let it go. It could it would be possibly Liquor Cabinet rock. Yeah, I might put it in that genre. Yeah. So
Liquor Cabinet's deep, Caleb.
You can't just put whatever you want in the liquor cabinet.
Yes, I can. I can put tea in there if I want to.
Put coffee filters up there.
Coffee filter, yeah.
Jameson, what's your take on this one?
So, real quick, just about like trying to like beat bop a song and figure it out, that made me think of a memory of calling Caleb at like, this had to have been like 2010-ish, and drunkenly calling Caleb and being like, what the fuck is this song, and beat bopping it out to him and realizing that it was a Skrillex song. But he knew almost immediately, which was hilarious. But more on this song. When I clicked on it, it popped up in a playlist of modern psychedelia, which I don't know that that's like super fitting, but at the same time, I can see it a little bit. Cool song, really chill vibes. I don't know that I'll like dig more into Same, but I do like this song. Yeah, it's good.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Nick, how about you?
For me, it was fine. It was nice and relaxing to listen to. I like the tones of it all. It felt like its own kind of complete self-contained idea of I don't know this. I have literally no way of describing what I'm trying to describe right now. But the sound of this track is very intentional, is what I'm trying to communicate here. And it was nice to listen to, but for me, it was just slow enough that I don't think I'm going to revisit. So it's fine.
It's fine. Caleb,
Yeah,
how about you?
I liked it.
You
it,
did?
It is like it. Yeah, it's definitely on the slow side, but it's like the guitar tone's really nice. I like the the chill, just drum beat driving things along. I don't know why. I love a good ride cymbal beat, and this is chock full of that. And the thing you did where you're trying to describe the where you're trying to like hum the melody reminded me of when we'd be playing something like back in the day, and Rex would go, "Just do this, go da na 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 da." I'm like, Rex, that doesn't sound like the melody at all. But I mean, Jasper got it right away, which goes to show why he was a better fit to jam with Rex than I probably ever was. But yeah, no, I mean, like, yeah, I granted, like, depending on my mood, I would probably be like, I'm kind of bored, I'm gonna move on. But it's definitely, for that kind of thing, that chill vibe. Like, this is the end of the party where we're all just too drunk and I'm laying on a couch staring at the ceiling, and it's a nice vibe.
With your foot on the ground to keep from getting the spins.
That's right.
Yep.
This is helping me not throw up.
Hey, man.
Yeah, it's the doobie that you snuck home and you're smoking before you go to bed.
Yeah.
No
It's
way,
good
man.
tonight.
I think the next track's that doobie, dude. Like, like legit. Like the next track's like, I can't tell you the amount of times like I would go downtown and we'd have like a really long night hitting, like it being at the bars downtown, and I'd stop at home and grab like that last, because for me it was always like, what can I get drunk with the cheapest? So a lot of times, if I was being classy, I would buy myself a really like tall IPA, that Torpedo IPA, and I'd try and drink it like ASAP. But like that on like the porch by myself at like 3 a.m. when it's completely dark, and I'm like drinking that, smoking a stove, just like, this is a song I'd want to fucking listen to. The Rolling On by the Murlocs, like it just hits. I mean, I don't know why. It's just like this, like it's got some like soulful vocal work a little bit. Like I like the pace of the song. Like I don't know why, man. It's a good nightcap. Like the whole both, like I like you really accomplished a good flow with this, Jasper. Like because you really go through like some stages. You hit that funk pocket, which kind of gives you this like positive boost, and then you just kind of like have this really nice like washout to the end of the of the playlist. It's really fucking cool. But anyway, I keep babbling on about this. Where'd the influence come from for this track to be on the last one here?
I mean, it's an easy choice for a last playlist song. Just like the mood, the lyrics, the rolling on, the way it ends, kind of so like it's so chill and you're just vibing with it, and then like ends abruptly. It's a great, sort of like wake up at the end of a playlist sort of thing.
Yeah.
Again, a King Gizzard adjacent band. The Murlocs are Ambrose, so he's the guy who does harmonica and keyboards for King Gizzard.
Okay.
And Cookie from Pi Pi, that guy plays bass for the Murlocs now. So that's all intertwined there.
Yeah.
And it's another like melodramatic ride off into the sunset type of song that just it hits, it gets in the feels. It seems like, like you feel like you're rolling on. I always felt, I don't know, makes me feel kind of sappy and a little verklempt, like we're rolling on,
Yeah.
no matter what, just chugging on, having to leave stuff behind, but keeping on the up and up.
Yeah, man. Well, it's the truth. Like, it's like moving in a lot of ways. Like you just have, like, you have to take your shit, but you just gotta like, I don't know. You gotta be like, you keep your head up about it, no matter how comfortable you may have gotten. You'll be comfortable again, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
this,
and like don't get used to having me around because I'm gonna be moving on pretty soon. There's a lot of that song.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a good like it's like a equally like easily digestible track, but has like the certain like weightiness in a way
Mhm.
that makes you pay attention to it. Yeah, gives it that like that soulful heaviness. Yeah, damn fitting, damn good track to end, if you ask me, man.
Yeah.
But you know, see if any of these council members disagree. Dusty, what do you feel about this track?
I'd agree with that. It's delightful. Do you get that? Yeah, like going home vibes or riding into the sunset vibes on it. You know, is this was the lead singer a woman?
Nope.
I would assume.
Nope.
Really?
Guy Ambrose.
Hmm.
It's a lad.
Very high voice.
It's a lad.
I thought it was a black woman, to be honest.
He does sound like a lady.
Like a soulful black woman.
Mhm.
But I enjoyed it. I think it worked perfectly for the end on there. It's just like that classic, like there's not a whole lot going on, you know, just it's guitar and it's got a nice riff to it. So it's an 8.
Dude, that's 3 8s. That's
I would also consider this
24 overall.
You could put this in the liquor cabinet as well.
Yeah.
You can see yourself
That way.
on a porch, you know, just watching the sunset or something like that and just chill.
Yeah.
Sipping that liquor into the evening.
Either that or tea or some, I don't know, some milk. Whatever you kids are into these
Milk?
days.
Yeah,
Keep
you
that
know,
in the fridge, man.
When
Enjoy
I
a
think about
fine
this,
boil of cocaine or a nice drip of PCP.
Whatever,
drip drip.
whatever you want.
Caleb, what's your take?
So I didn't mind it. The song structure is really good. The arrangement's really good. I like that little like part where they do the little drum fill, like rolling. That's cool. I don't love his voice. It's not bad. He's doing well at what he's doing. It's just not my favorite. But it's not really a complaint either. It's just if I had to be a little bit critical, which I think I've really been lacking on it during this playlist, which is very
Shocking.
commendable. Yeah. If I had to be nitpickly, I'd say, his voice isn't my favorite, but it's a good song.
Nitpickly.
Yeah. You guys like pickles?
Yes. No. Absolutely not.
Get that
Especially
fucker.
Bill. Bill's the worst. Ugh.
Oh, you
Get
gotta
that
get
pickle out
good
of my
ones
face.
that were made properly.
Spicy bread and butter. Maybe.
I like a good Vlasic.
Oh, God, so basic. You gotta make homemade pickles.
All right. Jameson,
Pickle cabinet.
Well,
thoughts on this track, and
No.
what's your favorite pickle type if you have a favorite pickle type?
I don't like pickles. And
I'm very seldom on the pickle.
yeah, like the only acceptable pickle is like a bit of relish in fry sauce.
Oh my.
Yeah.
My dog.
Anyways, I'll kind of
These guys are
echo
all
Caleb's
shaking it.
sentiments with a little bit more like slightly harsher. The vocal work in this didn't do it for me. Like I thought there was a little bit of over singing that was off-putting for me. The musical track and it's good, but not anything like super profound for me. So it was a good thing to end the playlist on, but definitely not a contender for my favorite on the list.
Yeah. Well, I guess that brings us to Nick.
I don't know what you guys are complaining about. That song was fine.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
It was pretty good. This was another one of the songs that I just listened to not for. There's so much music that I can only listen to as a musician, and this style of music, especially like these sort of themes, or if they're gonna run with like a very old vintage type of sound, or if they're gonna only sing about pirates, that's like an easy sell for me, because that's gonna be something to distract me from like my overly critical mind about what I think music is and what it should be, because obviously my opinion matters all that fucking much. But this was one of those songs that I could just enjoy for what it was. And I don't know, it was a lot of fun to listen to. It had a very nostalgic feel to it. both for like the era that music comes from, and also for that like era of late 2000s indie kid movies.
Yeah.
Michael
Yeah.
Cera was up for a part, but he didn't quite get it.
Yep.
It's the Australian Michael Cera.
Yeah.
He got too mainstream.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like overall, dude, like I really, like this was not, like I didn't get any like piss and vinegar out of this fucking playlist. Like I enjoyed just about every track on here, which is it's actually getting rarer and rarer the longer we do this. Usually I'm like getting better at like finding something. I'm just like, fuck that one. But like, I gotta say, man, I got like, when it comes to music, Jasper, you're somebody that I always think has like really eclectic and impeccable taste. And so it's always kind of a pleasure to see what you're like jamming on or like throwing, you know, like that's why I like doing something like this. It's like, I really wonder what he's going to throw our way, you know, because it's like a shit that like I've maybe heard about or shit I've definitely not heard about. Like,
Yeah.
that's pretty
We're
cool.
going
Man.
for that for sure. Definitely
really
trying to
appreciate
throw
it.
some left field stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
But-
I was hoping, I don't know. I expected a little bit more pushback. I expected some songs to not be as appreciated.
I always
But-
try to be at least a little bit hateful.
Yeah.
sprinkle a
good.
little
It makes
in
good
there, but-
podcast.
You gotta sprinkle a little bit in there, but when it's genuinely like tough to do it, though, you're sort of like, "Fuck, man." And that, I mean, all that being said, we gotta pick our tops and bottoms before anything, and so, and inevitably, we all have to find the track that we like the least. Does anybody have any off the top of their heads?
I can go.
What you got?
Okay, so both my tops and bottoms had like competitors, and it coming into this, like I knew I wasn't going to be able to pick until we went through. So I'll start with bottoms, so I finish on a high note. I feel a little bit guilty, but I think my competitors for bottom were the Primus song "Groundhog's Day" and "Men's Shirt" by Terra Melos. I think I'll probably give my bottom to the Men's Shirt song. Just didn't really do it for me. Top competitors was either "Ode to the Mets" by The Strokes or Detective Doggington. And after talking it through, I think I'm gonna give my tops to the Detective Doggington song. And I didn't think I was gonna do that. I thought I was gonna give it to the Strokes, but that song by Pipe Eye was fucking rad. So that's gonna take my top pick.
Nice. Nick, do you have yours?
Yeah. So right at the top of the list is going to be Night Expo by the OCs. That song was just too much fun. Way all the way down at the bottom where it belongs is Men's Shirt. I'm going to agree with Jameson on that one. That song was just frustrating.
Damn.
And special mention does go to Zachy Force Funk for putting in some Space Cantina music, so that was cool.
I heard.
Caleb, do you have yours?
Yeah. So again, like the whole thing was like I didn't hate anything. I don't think we got a single gavel on this playlist, which is kind of unprecedented. Like I think Jasper deserves some kind of special award for that.
I was gonna say I think I threw gavel out there, but it might have been related to like somebody. We were throwing shade at maybe like Lucas or something like that, and I threw gavel like at something there. But legitimately, I was like trying to fish to see if anybody had some at first, but then I was like, I don't think we're gonna get one on this playlist,
Yeah.
which is
No,
unfucking canny.
Crickets.
We
Crickets.
gavelled my opinion of Men's Shirt. We gavelled that
Oh,
one
that's
after I
it.
said it was because it was designed in a lab to piss me off.
Oh, okay,
what it
that's
was.
well. Even still, only one gavel,
Yeah,
and
it's
not
still,
not from me. It's amazing. I would say the
Are we getting open-minded?
no.
We can't do that.
no.
Close it up,
I would-
guys.
I'd probably say it was a bit of a tie, and not because they weren't like well done or anything, but just how they made me feel between Beached by Man and Men's Shirt. And not to pile on, but I got to give it to Men's Shirt for the bottom, just because it scared me. And the line about like, I got the shirt from my grandpa, it wasn't enough to save it. But it was good. I'll give them that. And then the top, it was kind of a tie between Everyone's a VIP to Someone by the Go Team, because just super, super fun and silly. But I don't know, the more I think about it, I think I agree with Jameson. Pip-Eye Detective Doggington was that kind of just that dark horse, and it came through and really, like, I'm definitely going to check that album out. So
Nice.
Well, Master Gill, what are your tops and bottoms?
Well, I'll end on a low note. So I'll start with the high one. It's gonna be that Everyone's a VIP. Someone. It's just delightful. Made me happy.
Good pick.
Bottom, I could pile on Men's Shirt, but for me is this El Miro Miro. I don't know. I didn't care for it. I care for the funk.
Fair.
Brush that funk out of here. For me, it's like, yeah, it's more or less having to like pick something that I could do without on the playlist more rather than like not really disliking, because like I think you've turned me on to some cool shit on here. So if I had to like chop something off there, I would maybe, I mean, like, I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably chop like maybe like Super Soaker, just because it was one, like, I liked it, but I could, you know, I could do with that. It wasn't my favorite ones it wasn't one of my like favorite ones on the list. You assholes are all gonna have to fucking, like, I so want to choose Men's Shirt as my top favorite because you guys all fucking hate it. I really like that song, and it's definitely like right there for me. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know why. It's just weird enough. The lyrics are just weird enough. Everything's presented in, like you guys all said, like they know what they're doing, and that's why I think it's even more genius. It's because like they know it sounds weird. It's gonna like make people cringe a little bit or whatever. Like, it's fucking great. So I really wanted to give it to Men's Shirt, but it's gonna get beaten out by Jerry Paper. Like, that Jerry Paper track really hooked me for some fucking reason, and I can't wait to dig more into Jerry Paper. Like,
oh yeah,
I'm gonna throw that one out there. So I don't know, man. Like I said, it's a really good pick. If you, Jasper, if you had to choose like a favorite and a least favorite off this, like what would you set aside?
it's tricky for sure. I think just because I've listened to it so many times, Carpe Diem by Solos has probably got to be the bottom.
Fair enough. Just a little played.
Yeah, it's cool, but it kind of loses its magic after a minute. And it's the same thing with that band in general. Like, it's a real mood sort of thing for me.
Fair enough.
But Hops, it's either like Night Expo or Beached,
Dude.
or Detective Doggington, just because, like, I don't know, it's a new album to get into.
Yeah.
Pi does some real cool stuff.
I think that's one. I think most, like, are all of us gonna interested in getting into that album, or we?
Yeah, go listen to it, everyone. It's fucking rad.
Like, yeah, I'm definitely like intrigued. I think it's one of those rare ones that we can all say like, dang, there's something there.
Yeah, it's a real good one too. If you're gonna lay down and go to bed, or if it's early in the morning, you maybe indulge in a doobie and put on the headphones and just listen to it.
It'll do you well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, fuck, man. Like, seriously, thank you for putting together this excellently like crafted playlist. If you ask me, it's always a pleasure to see, like I said, like what you're kind of listening to, Jasper, because I know you're just sort of, I don't know, you got all these pockets of fascination that you can just pull out and just be like, yo, check this out, and like, look at this.
Yeah. This is though, if you really want to know what I'm listening to in my day to day though, like in my CD player, it's "Steal This Album" by System of a Down. I think "Searching for a Former Clarity" by Against Me, and "Era Vulgaris" by Queens of the Stone Age. Those are the three that I've been spinning. Oh, and "In Keeping Secret," "Good Apollo" and "Burning Star 4" by Coheed and Cambria.
Dude, that's another group that's coming through soon. Coheed. Oh, man. Hell yeah. All right. Well, hot dogs or future corn dogs, I should say. You know what to do. Fucking listen to this shit. Jasper, one more time, tell us where people can find your music, though.
Oh, yeah. SoundCloud.com/diarrhea warning.
You know it. You've been warned. Get on there and fucking listen, man.
New music regularly, trying to put it out. There's a wide variety. There's
some fun shit on there, man. I can attest to that. There's some really fun shit to listen to.
Oh, and just a shout out through Diarrhea Warning and this podcast and everything. Through finding all of this, Pete Larson has reached out to me, and I've been in contact with him. So thanks to Old Heart Radio, thanks to all this, for getting me in contact with an old homie.
Dude, I'm so glad. That's been this great weird side effect, and I hope it continues. I hope that people can see that how we're continuing to branch together ourselves, and like how we can continue to branch out to each other. It's a strange, unedited side effect of Old Heart Radio.
There should be another playlist there. Pete should be on this. That'd be epic.
Absolutely, man. That would be fucking cool. Hell yeah. Well, we'll leave it there for this episode. But everybody, make sure you keep tuning in. Jasper's playlist is going to be posted up on our fucking link tree, so get your link on and go listen to it yourselves. And we'll see you on the next episode with who knows fucking what. Any final words, gentlemen? You guys all content? Somebody's got to say, keep your stick on the ice.
Keep your stick on the ice.
There it is.
Don't get your hand stuck in the pickle jar.
Oh, that's definitely not something that you want to do.
Keep your hands out the pickle jar.
All right. Keep it easy.
One love.
One love. What up?